What's up, internet land? It's your brother, your friend, welcoming you to another episode of the Wealth Code Revealed show. Guys, today I'm gonna try to be brief as I'm up here on the mountain. I like to come up here and get peace, get some tranquility, think about what I'm going to talk to you before I actually come to you with the message of the day. But today I want to talk to you about the most important interview that you'll ever have in your life. Have you ever attended an interview and you were nervous? You didn't know what to expect on the interview at all. You were like, I hope I get this job. I wonder what they're going to ask me. Your hands start to get sweaty. You get nervous in the interview. The person comes, he interviews. What's up, Ricky? What's up, April? He comes, give you the interview. He start asking you questions. And, you just start running through your mind. What's the best answer? What's the best answer that I can give because I need this job? I got to get this job. I need this job because I got to make this money. I got to take care of my family. I need it. So, you probably have been on an interview before and you had to ask some questions that probably made you uncomfortable. But what I want to talk to you guys is not about when you go for a job. The topic of today is, what do you ask when you're interviewing for the job? It's a different twist, a whole different twist to it. It's a different mindset, guys. What if you were the one in charge of asking the questions? All good, family. I'm up here in Atlanta, up in the mountains of Kennesaw. I come up here and do my nature walk and get my live sometimes from here. But, while I was up here, it just dawned on me to talk about what people go through when they're being interviewed for a position. I want to talk to you guys today about the most important interview that you will ever have in your life. And that's the interview where you asking the questions. Somebody who drives a forklift or somebody who works, in a specialized field. Hey, April, when you're working in a specialized field, you need skills. You need certain skills. Like Rick, driving a forklift truck, or driving an 18-wheeler for that matter. There are skills that you need to know before you get hired. So let's talk about flipping the script. And let's talk about you doing the hiring. You being in a position of authority where you're asking the questions. How about that? Let's talk about that for a moment. Look me deep into my eyes as I tell you, you are in charge. You are the one that's running the ship. I'm talking about you asking the interview questions. You sitting in the captain's seat. Well, you might say, well, Dion, I ain't never gave an interview before. I never been a manager. I've never owned a company before where I got to ask the questions. Well, I'll tell you this. If you have ever worked on a job and you've ever received a paycheck, who was in charge of the money when you got paid? When you get paid, if you get paid every Friday or if you get paid every other Friday, who was in charge of that money when it hits your hand? You the boss. You the man. You the woman. You the one in charge of that money when you get it. Who dictates where that money goes when you get paid? You do. So, with that being said, let's look at this a different way. All right, I just got paid. I just got paid $500. But we can't have that. We can't let the enemy take our next level away from us. There's always a next level. We always focusing on the next level. The question is, how do we embark on it? How do we get there? So, back to what I was saying. You say I've never been my own boss. I've never ran a company before. I've never interviewed anybody before. So, how am I supposed to be in a position to ask those types of questions? And my answer to you is, on the job that you're working right now, or the job that you've ever had, or any hustle that you've ever had before, when that money hits your hand, who's the boss? Who makes the decisions when that money hits your hand? You do. You are the boss. Now, have you ever interviewed your money? Have you ever took $10, set that $10 on the table across from you and said, all right, so you want the job, huh? So you want to work for me, huh? All right. Guys, trust me when I tell you, this is the most important interview you will ever have in your life. And this is an interview where you are in charge. Did you know you can employ your money? Did you know you can give your money a job? Most people are not aware of that. Most people never heard that before. Like, what do you mean, give my money a job? You mean like go buy some real estate, you know? Well, let's look at real estate. When you buy real estate, when you take your hard-earned money or you go get a loan or whatever it is that you do to go get real estate, how do you make your money back? First of all, you gotta get a tenant. What's up, fellas? All right. Cleveland gonna do it tomorrow?
Oh, they're doing it.
I'm riding with that. You gotta get a tenant first. Like, you can go buy a piece of property. What if you have no tenants in your property? But you had to pay for the rehab, or you still got like an outstanding balance on it. How do you pay that back if you don't have a tenant? You have to use your hard-earned money and work for it. The interview process that I'm sharing with you guys is where you are actually employing your money to bring in more money. How do you do that? How is that possible? How can I give my money a job? All right, now you sat down at your table because you're the manager. You manage it. You run and you operate your business. When you got your job, your money from your job, you sat down with your check because you run that. You run that check when it comes into your hand. You the manager. So you say, all right, I'm hiring. I am now hiring, and the job that I am hiring you to do is to bring me back more money. If you don't know the questions to ask that $10 bill or that $20 bill, can you conduct that interview? No, you can't. So there's an education that you need to have. Like, say I had spoke about the forklift driver, or let's take a chef, for example. If I sat in the kitchen and I was supposed to make the cakes or make the pizza or make whatever the special meal is, and I sit in that kitchen and I just grab some utensils and try to go to work, how long will I last in that kitchen? Not long at all. If I was to try to operate a forklift and I've never driven a forklift before, how long will I last in that position? Can I even manage somebody in that position if I've never done it before? No, the answer is obviously not. So if you got your money in your hand, what do you know best about the money that you get from your job? Without any type of special skills, the one thing that we know how to do with our money is spend it. You don't need a set of instructions for that. But what about employing your money? Employing it, where you give your money a job and you sit it down at the table and you ask it interview questions to see if you're going to hire it or not, to see if it's qualified for the position of bringing you back more money. Have you ever thought of that before? I mean, seriously, have you ever thought, I need to employ some of my money so it can have a job to bring me back more money? And the reality is, no. Most people have never been taught that skill. You go to school to learn a lot. There's different studies, different courses that you can major in. And you take those credit hours and you become proficient at that craft. Has there ever been a class called Wealth 101, Wealth 201, that you can recall in your curriculum? No, not at all. So when I speak to you about employing some of your money, people look and they listen and say, that's crazy. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to employ my money. How am I supposed to give my money a job? They never taught me that. And it amazes me that I bring this type of education and I offer this education to people. They'll get on and leave and go back to work. They'll get on the live, leave, go back to doing what they're doing. But always have desires and dreams to want and do more in their life. Is reaching your goals and dreams important? Or is it just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't? Is that important? Is reaching your goals and dreams important? I know for me, there's two different pains. You got the pain of success or the pain of failure. The pain of discipline or the pain of a lack of discipline. They both gonna hurt. Just want to get out the sun. Let me sit here and talk to you guys for a minute in the office. Is your goal and dream important? How important is it?